Lesson 7-1, Estimating Products, and in this lesson you learn to estimate fraction products using compatible numbers and rounding. When are you ever going to use this? You'll use estimation to approximate the discount on a sales item. Okay, so the word we need to learn here would be compatible numbers, or the phrase. Okay, so where do you like to study? The circle graph shows where students prefer to study. Okay, so if there are 16 students in Taylor's class, about how many students prefer to study in their bedroom? So this is your graph, the circle graph. Okay, 1/3 prefer to study in the bedroom, 2/3 prefer to study in kitchen, dining room, or the family room. Okay, so the question is, if there are 16 students in Taylor's class, about how many students prefer to study in their bedrooms? And if you notice the word about, okay, gives you a clue that this is the problem does not want an exact answer. It is looking for an estimate because of the word above. So to solve this problem, okay, you can estimate the product of 1/3 and 16. And one way to estimate the product is to use what we call compatible numbers. Compatible numbers are easy to divide mentally. Compatible simply means that numbers that go together. So numbers that go together are considered to be compatible numbers. Okay, so let's see how compatible numbers work. Okay, so you have 1/3. Okay, right here, somewhere here. Oopsie. Okay, so 1/3 times 16, okay, means 1/3 of 16. Okay, and if you notice, you can find a number that's compatible with 3 that's close to 16, and that would be 15. So 1/3 times 15. Think for 16, the nearest multiple of 3 is 15. 3 and 15 are compatible numbers because when you look at 15 divided by 3, you'll end up with a quotient of 5. So you want to find a number that is close to 16 is compatible with 3, that would be 15. Okay, and 1/3 times 15, if you do the math, would be equal to 5. Okay, so it's the same as multiplying 1/3 by 15, or dividing by 3. So if you're multiplying by 1/3, it's the same as dividing 15 by 3. So you get the product of 5. Okay, and if we put this on a model, okay, we know that that's 15, and that's 1/3 of 15. Okay, that's another third, and that's another third. So the product of 1/3, okay, and 16 is about 5, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so about 5 of the 16 students prefer to study in their bedrooms, and that's how you estimate it. Let's take a look at example number 1. Estimate 5/8 times 25. Okay, again, we look at the number 8 and 25 and see what number is close to 25 that's compatible with 8. Okay, and that number would be 24, because if you notice, 24 divided by 8 would be 3. So when you say 1/8 of 24 is the same as dividing 24 by 3. So 1/8 of 24, or 1/8 times 24, is equal to 3, because for 25, the nearest multiple of 8 is 24. Okay? So if we do that, 1/8 of 24 is 3. And how many 8s are there in 25? We know that there are 5 8s. There are 5 1/8s, okay, in 5/8. So we simply multiply 3 by 5, which will give us 15. Okay? Therefore, 5/8 times 25 is about 15. Okay? Let's take a look at the next example. You can also estimate products by rounding fractions 0, 1/2, or 1, just like what we did before. So we want to estimate 2/9 times 5 over 6. Okay? Remember that we think that 5/6 is close to 1. And if 5, 6 is close to 1, okay, we can use this number line. Why is it close to 1? Because if you notice, 5, 6 is here, okay, and that's 0, 1 half, and 1, okay, and 6 over 6 obviously is 1. 5, 6 is closer to 1, so we estimate 5, 6 as equal to 1. So with that in mind, we know that the identity property states that any number multiplied by 1 will give you the same number. So we actually don't touch 2 nines anymore. We simply multiply 2 nines times 1, which will be equal to 2 over 9. So when we round 5, 6 to 1, okay, we know that anything multiplied by 1 will give you the same number. So therefore, 2 nines times 5 over 6 is about 2 nines. Okay? So to estimate the product of mixed numbers, you can round each mixed number to the nearest whole number and then multiply. So in cooking, Kim needs 3 1/2 batches of cookies. If one recipe calls for 2 1/2 cups of flour, about how many cups of flour are needed? So the word about tells you that you need to estimate. So you need to estimate 3 1/2 times 2 1/4. Okay, so we need, remember when we round the mixed numbers, okay, we need to round mixed numbers to either 0 or 1. That is the fraction next to the mixed number. So in this case, 1/2 rounds to 1. So we estimate 3 1/2 to be able to become 4. And since 2 1/4, okay, 1/4 is closer to 0 than 1, we round 2 1/4 to simply 2. And we simply multiply 4 times 2. Okay, 4 times 2 will give us 8. So 3 1/2 times 2 1/4 is about 8. So Kim will need about 8 cups of flour. Okay, and the secret word for this lesson would be M&Ms. Secret word for this lesson would be M&Ms. Okay, and that's the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching.